one more time, but like we did the other week, try to look around just a little bit, but don't hold too much eye contact because it makes people feel weird. Right? Just a little bit so we all know who we're sailing with. Here we go. Somos el barco, somos el mar. Yo navego en ti, tú navegas en mí. We are the boat, we are the sea. We sail in you, you sail in me. I sail in you sail in me.
Good morning, roomers, and the 30 or so people on Zoom. Today we're celebrating our annual water ceremony, which begins the church year. It also means that our choir is back. Yay. Now, you should know that our religious education program, Karen came up with this really fun thing for children that they'll be exploring superheroes and Unitarian Universalist superheroes all year long and what it takes to be a superhero. So we thought we'd have a little bit of fun with that today. So let us begin with these words. If I were a superhero, I'd definitely fly. Arms outstretched, racing birds in the sky.
If I was a superhero, I'd have special powers like extra strong legs for jumping over towers.
If I was a superhero, I'd save all the oceans with my secret and magical cleaning up potions.
If I was a superhero, I'd save all the trees and the mountains and rivers, the birds and the bees.
If I was a superhero, I'd help all the poor, give them food, and make them hungry no more.
If I was a superhero, I'm sure you'll agree the world would be better because of me. All right, so because we're celebrating our water ceremony today and talking about superheroes, of course we wanted to talk about Aquaman. I've got my Aquaman colors. So, Aquaman is the king of the 7 seas and lives in the underwater city of Atlantis. He uses his awesome abilities to battle all kinds of invaders alongside Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. Reverend Sean's our Wonder Woman today and every day. Together they are known as the Justice League, or sometimes Super Friends. Aquaman is amazing. He can swim really, really fast. He can breathe underwater, talk to fish and other creatures of the sea, and he can control the water. Aquaman's also a protector of the sea, so he fights against pollution every day, and he protects his fish friends from those who don't respect the sea, like whalers or people who make oil spills. When Aquaman was young, he didn't want to be different from everybody else, so he hid his powers and purposely didn't use them. When he found out that he was the son of the Queen of Atlantis, he was mad that she had left him all alone, and so he didn't want the responsibility of being a prince. Then one day he met Mira. Mira is the princess of an underwater kingdom. Like Aquaman, she has incredible strength, and she can do what he can do. At first, Mira thought Aquaman was a villain. But when Black Mantis, a criminal mastermind, came to destroy Aquaman and all of Atlantis, that's when Aquaman knew he couldn't shirk his responsibilities anymore. He and Mira teamed up to defeat Mantis, and they did. Eventually, 2 heroes, Aquaman and Mira, fell in love, and now they work together to protect the oceans and all the waters of the earth. Whether on land or undersea, Aquaman is brave, smart, strong, and kind. He protects our planet and all of its life forms because he is a super friend and a superhero. Whenever the seas are in danger, Aquaman is there, along with all his friends. And I hope you're one of them.
We're going to sing a superhero song. The song is about saving the earth, so that's a good thing to be a superhero for, right? Let's rise in body or spirit. The tide is rising. The tide is rising, and so are we. The tide is rising, and so are we. The tide is rising, and so are we. This is where we are called to be. This is where we are called to be. The task is mighty. The task is mighty, and so are we. The task is mighty, and so are we. The task is mighty, and so are we. This is where we are called to be. This is where we are called to be. All right, where's that thunder stick? The storm is raging. The storm is raging, and so are we. The storm is raging, and so are we. The storm is raging, and so are we. This is where we are called to be. This is where we are called to be. Are we ready, world? The world is ready, and so are we. The world is ready, and so are we. The world is ready, and so are we. This is where we are called to be. This is where we are called to be. One more time, the tide is rising. The tide is rising, and so are we. The tide is rising, and so are we. The tide is rising, and so are we. This is where we are called to be. This is where we are called to be. This is where we are called to be. This is where we are called to be.
All right, I know I'm not the only geek here in this congregation. Who here likes superheroes? Excellent, fellow geeks. Wonderful. All right, who's your favorite superhero? Call it out. Thor. Who- Iron Man. I heard Iron Man. Batman. Right on. All right. Well, I grew up with superheroes. They were my favorite shows to watch. If you might remember those, if you're old enough, Wonder Woman, Linda Carter, and of course, we have Batman and Robin. Oh, I remember they always ended on a cliffhanger with Robin being tied up somewhere, and oh my goodness, Robin's gonna die. No, he never did. Now, these superheroes, they taught me about right and wrong, right? They were always made the right decisions. They almost never made mistakes, and they fought for justice. They were definitely kind of ideals, and sometimes maybe a little hard to live up to. But as I grew up, so did superheroes, okay? They became a lot more kind of human, more complex, and not always all that perfect. So, for example, Batman went from this thoughtful, crime crusader to this brooding, dark vigilante, right? And then you had the X-Men. They came out, and the New Mutants, and they lived in a world that didn't respect or honor their powers like people did of Superman, but instead people wanted to control their powers, so they had to hide and sometimes become villains themselves to protect themselves. And now what I find fascinating is the movies. We have movies that the heroes are even more complex. They're dealing with inner demons. They're dealing with struggles. They deal with depression and anxiety and regret and grief. And they often have to face those challenges or even their own internal flaws. And I like these kind of superheroes, those that struggle. I can relate to these superheroes. It makes them more human. So, for example, here is Thor, right? You remember I don't know if you've seen the movie, hopefully it's not a spoiler for you all, but he was sort of immature and reckless and had all his bravado, I'm Thor, right? Well, he almost started a war, and so his father deemed him unworthy of holding the hammer there, and so took his powers away from him. And if you remember Iron Man, who's kind of this egotistical arms dealer, okay, not the nicest guy in the world, totally narcissistic, thinks he's the greatest thing in the world. This led him to being captured and even to lose a good friend. You have Black Widow, who had a dark past, right? And she's trying to overcome that past. And of course, there was Aquaman, who here is with Bruce Wayne, who wants him to come work with him in the Justice League, and Aquaman's like, no, I don't want to be involved with you. I don't want to do that. Why should I help anybody else? So every superhero has kind of like this internal kryptonite, right? And what the movies and comics show us is that they overcome those flaws by facing their challenges. So in these examples, Thor in the latest movie uses his genius to find a way, or Iron Man, I should say. So wait a minute, I got these out of order. So Thor loses all that he loves and takes on more responsibility, and spoiler alert, becomes a father. Okay, yeah, I know, it's kind of cool. I like the end of it, the last movie was cool. Then you have Iron Man. So he uses his genius to find a way to save the universe, even though he's worried it will take away all of those that he loves. He's learned to be part of a team. Black Widow actually goes back and finds kind of a family that she had and faces her past with the help of her family. And Aquaman finally comes to accept his role as king of the sea by getting the great trident that will make him king. As they say, with great power comes great responsibility, but that's a different superhero. But it's true. So what all these superheroes have taught me as an adult is that being a superhero isn't just about having superpowers. It's about facing your challenges, facing your inner flaws, your challenges, your past, everything, and then growing beyond them, not letting them hold you back. You know, I think of one of the most famous Unitarians who played a superhero in movies. This is Christopher Reeve. Did you all know he was a Unitarian? Yeah, he was a Unitarian. So Christopher Reeve, who played Superman back in the day, he was out riding his horse one day when he fell and he broke his neck. And after that, he couldn't walk and could barely talk. But he knew he could still help, and at first he didn't really want people to see him or feel sorry for him, right? This once strong man of steel wasn't able to really do much of anything physical, but he knew he still had power as a famous actor. So Christopher started speaking. He went to Congress and he said, please support stem cell research so that might lead to a cure for spinal cord injuries. He asked groups of people to get involved and donate money. He went on to the Academy Awards and asked people to do that. He talked with others who had experienced injuries like this. He went on television before millions of people, showing everyone, that though his abilities had changed, his heart and his soul were strong and capable. And he said this: a hero is an ordinary individual who finds the strength to persevere and endure in spite of overwhelming obstacles. A hero is an ordinary individual who finds the strength to persevere and endure in spite of overwhelming obstacles. Now, each of us, we have different challenges that each of us are facing in the world. It might be big ones or small ones. It might be not Christopher Reeve kind of challenges or even Iron Man type of challenges, but it's their challenges nonetheless. But we also have superpowers, right? That we can help us to deal with those challenges, to help us face those. So I want to ask you this morning, what challenges are you facing in your life? And what would you like to overcome or grow this year? So I'm going to give you an example. Now you might think that this is a little silly, but for me this is huge, okay? So I struggle with daily discipline. Can I tell you how many times I have tried to learn a musical instrument that I know takes daily practice, right? I have guitar, piano, harmonica, violin, we're getting to that one. And Native American flute. I've tried so many different things. I played the flute a little bit when I was younger, but I never really learned that discipline of every single day until Phil over here and Susan gave me a banjo. And I thought, okay, I've always wanted to learn to play the banjo, and I'm gonna do it this time. By golly. And can I tell you, it's incredible. Now, okay, learning an instrument, like, really, Sean, that's a big challenge. You don't understand. I'm learning it by ear, okay? As someone who her whole life had hearing loss, okay, and was never musical, to learn how to play by ear is incredibly intimidating and overwhelming for me. I have this wonderful teacher that I got. That's my superpowers. I reached out for help. His name's Robin. He lives in Cambridge. We do it on Zoom. And he's like, that's the best rendition of Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star I've ever heard. He's so great. That's his superpower. He's really positive. So this is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to be drawing upon that superpower of asking for help and perseverance to get through. So today for our water ceremony, I want to ask you, okay, what challenge are you facing? What inner thing would you like to deal with? What would you like to accomplish, to learn, or what would you like to change? And then I want to ask you what your superpower is that you can draw upon to help you with that challenge. So that's our question for our water ceremony. We're going to pour water that we have over here into a common bowl, and as we do, we name the challenge that we're going to face. Each of us will be able to do that. and the super power that we have to face this. And on Zoom, you'll have an opportunity to write that in the chat as well. But before we do that, I'm going to give you a chance to think about this. I've been thinking about it all week, so I'm going to give you a chance to think about this. So I want to invite you into a moment of meditation. Everybody take a couple of deep breaths. One more. All right. Think about this coming year, and what would you like to tackle? What's your power? What challenge are you facing? And when you're ready, please join Beth in singing.
There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my soul. And it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my soul, in my heart. There's a river flowing in my heart. There's a river flowing in my heart, and it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my heart. There's a river in my mind. In my mind. There's a river flowing in my mind. And it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my There's a river flowing. 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 There's a river flowing in my
So there's a reason why we told you the story of Aquaman, because like Aquaman, water is really powerful. Now, you might not think so because it kind of runs through your fingers and little drops of water seem so tiny. But when you collect all those drops of water over time, amazing things can happen and you can change the world. So let us come together in our annual water ceremony to celebrate what we can do together. And all are welcome to participate, whether you're a member, friend, guest, visitor, everyone, and whether or not you're on Zoom or here in the room. So if you didn't know, the water ceremony was started about 40 years ago by a bunch of heroes. These were women across the nation who came together to hold a conference about how to battle sexism. And after decades of this battle, if not centuries, the leaders knew that they were going to be kind of tired. So they wanted to gather their strength together and lift one another up. And so they created this water ceremony to bring their collective strengths together. Now, the water ceremony itself is very simple. If you're here in the room, I'd like to invite each of you to come forward. I'm going to ask you to, if you can, to kind of line up along the wall over here, just so that we don't block the camera up there, and then come up around this way, and then go back to your seat, back around that way. And then we've got the talking stick, okay? To help you feel like the superhero that you are, okay? And then I just ask you to pour a little bit of your contribution of the water. If you want to simply come forward in silence and pour some water, you're also welcome to do that. Now, if you're a Zoomer, you're invited to write your contribution in the chat here. And once everybody here in the room has come forward, Jan over here will be pouring some water for you as I read them out loud. So, let's see here. So just know that also that all of this water that we use, we use it for our child dedications and other ceremonies throughout the year. So as you mingle your water together, just know it'll be blessing this congregation in the years to come. All right, so I'm coming over here. Is this one on? Yep. Knock, knock. Okay, cool. All right, so this is water from last year. Don't worry, it was boiled. We're good. I'm going to pour a little bit of this in here because I want to also have the power of our ancestors with us. So just a little bit of that goes in. And as I mentioned, I am going to learn the banjo and practice every day. And I'm going to call upon the power of you all to give me support and encouragement, and the power of water to persevere when it gets really boring and I can't stand Mary Had a Little Lamb anymore. All right. So please come forward, claim the walking stick, and tell us what you'd like to face this year and how you'll do that. And again, if you could line up around the side, that would be awesome.
So this one's for all of us. Build a new sanctuary.
I'm Bob. My favorite water is all the water that's supposed to be in the reservoirs. My goal is to get rid of my headaches and my dizziness, and my skills are I build things.
Hi, I'm Susan Shaw, and I'm learning to be a gardener, so my challenge are pesky insects. So I hope to study companion planting.
Hi, I'm Deborah Quam, and my goal this year is to finally get into a regular exercise routine, just to help to get my both physical and emotional strength up and feel better. Have to get off the couch and not eat my biscottis every morning, but to go to the gym. So anyway, this is water from the Rhine River, which I was fortunate enough to get to visit this summer. A beautiful, mighty river that runs through Germany and along the border of France, so it's great. Oh, what? I hope I'm a kind and compassionate person.
I'm Julie. I'm looking for patience. Thank you. And I guess my superpower would be focus, and my favorite water is rainwater.
I'm Craig Preston. My favorite water of this moment is tears. I had some tears yesterday about climate change, and yet I called a friend because my superpower is to ask for help also, and was grateful. And so my goal for the future is to learn how to comfort others the way I was comforted yesterday.
My name is Paula. I love any water from the national parks, and my challenge is dealing with loss, and I'm going to call on the power of friends and experience, and maybe that higher power that I never understand to be with me. Thank you.
Thanks, Jan. Not that I need that. I'm Jolynn, and see. And my favorite water is any water I can swim in. And my challenge is aging and ailing family members. And my superpower to deal with that is kindness. And again, there it is. I wish I had some water from Paris to put in there, but you know they won't let you do that. It's my talking stick.
Hello, my name is Joel, and my favorite water is the water of the gorgeous Pacific Ocean, the entire ocean. My challenge is showing my true self to family and friends. That is my challenge. But I draw upon my strength and power from the power of friendship, love, especially at this time while my son is growing up into his teen years. I want to be able to show him who I am. So. There we go.
Good morning, my name is Sherry Lushin, and my favorite water is the beautiful rain that we had yesterday. I've grown to just crave rain. My challenge is I have just joined the board and finding the wisdom to help us in leadership through what we hope is going to be a wonderful, exciting, and challenging time with the new sanctuary. And I think my superpower is patience.
I'm Dale Osborne, and my favorite waters right at the moment would be the Atlantic Ocean, the Irish Sea, and the River Thames, because that's where Stephanie and I spent 3 weeks. I'll share one little bit is we had a picture taken with a yeoman warder at the Tower of London. So now it's a kind of historic picture because it's got the E2R, Elizabeth Regina. So kind of didn't know it was going to be historic. I'd say my challenge is reclaiming my identity, life as a creative artist, and stay focused on that. My superpower is that I've got family and friends and my wonderful kids. So that's what I'd say.
My name is Judith, and I brought water collected on Friday from my backyard in the lovely rain. And my challenge for the year is going to be taking better care of my yard and my garden. And I'm going to call upon my superhero friends who know so much more than I do about how to do that.
Hi, I'm Donna, and my favorite water is a quiet lake with a weeping willow cascading along the edges and watching some ripples on the surface of the water. And my challenge is getting back full use of my left arm. Not quite there yet, but so my superpower to do that is my determination to get it to be fully functional again.
I'm Lori, And my favorite water is this water today. And a challenge that I've been putting off is joining a yoga class, because I exercise, but I really don't know if I can handle that, and I would like to sign up. And the powers of positivity and love are what I call upon.
My voice scares me. My name is Ralph Haller, and my favorite water is the frozen water at each of the poles and on top of the highest mountains. May they remain frozen. One handicap I have to deal with is my hearing. I've got about half of it left, and to give and receive love will enable me to deal with it. Thank you.
I'm Laura, and my water is from my home, and that's it.
I'm Elizabeth, and my favorite water is my drip system in my water drought-tolerant front yard. So my biggest challenge right now is, after 28 years of teaching, drawing upon that patience and love that got me into the profession in the first place, and accepting that times are changing. My superhero? Super teacher.
Hello, my name is Jonathan Magoon Pearson, and my favorite water, I got a chance a long time ago to go through the Sian Narrows hiking, and that's one of the most special places on earth for me, and someday I'll go back there, but that water is very special to me. And the challenge that I'm facing is asking for help, and the superpower is trusting in those around me to actually come through, which I know they will, but that's on me to figure out.
I'm Karen, and my favorite water is Pacific Ocean. And I think my challenge is dealing with mom burnout. If you don't know, there's another one of these in the nursery right now. And I think my superpower for dealing with that is trying to take care of myself.
Well, this is a heck of a first service to attend. My name is JP Valake. I am about 3 years sober from a recurrence of an addiction that I had. This is a step. I grew up Unitarian. My goal, favorite water is any ocean water. My goal is definitely to embrace love with my whole heart, which is the kind of path that I'm on in recovery. And the recovery process is giving me, hopefully, the strength to meet those challenges. So good to meet you all.
My name is Peggy, and my favorite water is crystal clear spring water from a mountain stream, the stuff that you can actually drink. And so this is symbolic. Water from my home, which is second best. So I think my challenge is maintaining a positive attitude about the outcome of what's happening in the world in the face of all the negativity that gets thrown at us. And so I draw upon the strength of this church community and the positive messages I constantly receive to help affirm and keep a positive belief that these outcomes, this too shall pass, and these outcomes will be what I would like to see.
My name is Tracy, and my favorite water is rain, and the drops that form with them. I just love those drops, the puddle drops. And my challenge is to bond with my creative side and give myself time for that without guilt. And what I can do that with is with compassion towards myself.
Hello, everyone. Patrick. My favorite water, like Jolynn, is anything I can swim in, especially waterfall water and ocean water. Challenges, I could give you a laundry list, but I'll leave it at anxiety, perfectionism, and I'm trying to get a new home and work. The powers that I'm working with are curiosity and inquisitiveness.
Hi, my name's Phil Chipman, and my favorite water is the ocean water. I was just in it Friday, and right before the rain occurred, so I got water from bottom and top, surrounded by water, and I love it. And the challenge in my life is to try to convince people that we have to preserve what we have, and that what things that we do at the small and at the large affect the world we live in. And I'm so proud of being in this church because I'm surrounded by people here that believe the same. So that's nice. Is that it? Oh, pour the water. Okay. That's from home.
My name is Marilyn, and my favorite water is the many rivers and streams where over many years my husband and family went camping, and I have great memories of that. And the challenges that I'm facing now are my own age and also learning to continually to adjust to a new living environment. And my powers come from just, I think, feeling compassionate and caring, and I hope I can continue that. And I draw strength from this church and from my Al-Anon family.
Hi, I'm Brianna. My favorite water, I have to say, is my bath water or water in my kettle. What challenge am I facing? Time management, and I think kind of harnessing the power of water not just letting it run everywhere. What powers do I draw upon? The words of mentors and people I look up to, and like internalizing that dialogue.
Hello, my name is Tatiana. Brianna beat me to it. I was going to say that my favorite water is the hot, hot water in my hot tub or jacuzzi. And the challenge I'm facing is helping as many Ukrainians as I can. It's very close to my heart. I can't imagine not to. And the strength that I'm drawing upon is my strength of making friends and acquaintances and asking for help and receiving help. And it's been absolutely amazing how many people came forward and are coming and helping in all different ways. So just wanted to thank you very much for being a part of our Ukrainian refugee shelter project.
Is there anyone that would like me to bring the mic to you? Everybody's good? Okay.
All right, so Sarah Hunter says that her water is from the tap and it tastes great. That's her favorite water. And she said her challenge is patience and that her superpower is humor. We know that Sarah loves to laugh. And Barbara Schilling says that her favorite water is the Pacific Ocean. She says her challenge is radiation therapy, which starts on the 20th. She says, my family and friends are my help and strength during this time. Valerie A. says, my favorite water is the ocean near the shore. She says, my challenge, I need to make my way in a new career in a new place. All the way out there in Philly, we love you. She says her superpowers, she says, I'm tenacious and insightful. Awesome. Linda C. says, my favorite water is the ocean. She says her challenge is recovering from the loss of her darling dog and companion, Little Man. Oh, I didn't know Little Man passed. Oh, she says, I am relying on my family and friends to help me face this challenge. Oh, big hugs to you, Linda. And Kathleen M. says that, that's Kathleen MC. My water is from the cool streams of Big Bear, up in Big Bear Mountain. She says, my challenge is to let go of what I've known and reinvent myself in this later chapter of life. She says her superpower is a positive attitude. That's an awesome superpower. Well, thank you all. Let us now bless this water together. This is I invite you all to join me in this. This was written by Pat Simon, who was the originator, one of the original people who created the water ceremony. Together. Water, deep source, embracing the earth, rushing, confronting, transform us. Water, dear source, cradling haven, crystalline beauty, bring rain to this parched land now on fire. Water, sweet source, linking the eons, stirring our memories, help us to grow, let our roots grow deep. Water, sweet message, swarm cauldron of the revolution, for love of life, bring about a sea of change. Water, sweet message of hope, nourish our spirit and bless us this day. I had one last minute, sorry, I got a little distracted there. One last one from online. So he says, my name is Gregory. My favorite water is ice water when I'm thirsty. Oh yeah, isn't that good stuff? Yeah, he says, my challenge is being overcome with fear and worry. My superpowers are my focus on my family, which keeps me grounded, and my ability to give great customer service in my job, which makes me feel more confident.
Nice.
Awesome. All right, well, so this world is changing, sometimes for the better, but if it's going to change for the better, it's going to take all of us. And even if your challenge is personal, how you face your challenges, right? It teaches everyone. It teaches your friends, it teaches your enemies, it teaches your children and your grandchildren, because that learning to grow is one of the greatest superpowers that we have as human beings. And it's one that will change the world. And I believe that the world is waiting for us. So let us sing.
Please rise in body or spirit. We are the ones, we are the ones, we've been waiting. We are the ones, we are the ones, we've been waiting. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the ones, we are the ones, we've been waiting. We are the ones, we are the ones, we've been waiting. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the ones, we are the ones, we've been waiting. We are the ones, we are the ones, we've been waiting. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the ones, we are the ones, we've been waiting. We are the ones, we are the ones, we've been waiting. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the ones we've been waiting for.
Unitarian Universalist congregations are fully self-supporting, meaning that members and friends raise all the funds for the operating budget, ministries, and programs of the church. We are ever grateful for your gifts of time, treasure, and talent. OCUUC amplifies that spirit of generosity by sharing half the plate we receive with an organization that shares our values. This month, we are sharing with Stand Up for Kids OC. Since 1990, Stand Up for Kids has given their youth a sense of safety, hope, and belonging through housing support, mentoring, drop-in centers, and street outreach. They bear the highest independent ratings for fiscal stewardship of all donations. You can find out more about them at standupforkids.org. There are multiple ways in which you can support the church and this organization. You can mail a check, you can go through our website, use an app called Vanco Mobile, or send a check. The choice is yours. All the information is on our website should you need it. As always, thank you for your generosity.
Drip, 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 drip. Drip, 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 drip. Water wears away the stone, not because it is stronger, but because it persists. Drip, 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 drip. Drip, 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 drip. Water wears away the stone, not because it is stronger, but because drip, 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 drip. The best way out is always through. 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 Water wears away the stone, not because it is from the stone, but because it is from the sis. Drip, 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 drip. The best way out is always through. The best way because it is always through. The best way out is always through. The best way out is drip, 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 drip.
Our intentions into words and expresses our gratitude for the many gifts we share. Together, together, we gather as one, for peace, love, and justice for everyone. We give from our hearts to show that we care. We can change lives with what we share.
Let us join together as we extinguish the flame of our chalice and say together, we extinguish our chalice, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Thank you for joining us this morning. We are a congregation made up of people who all believe differently. And yet, when we are together, whether we are in the room or on Zoom, we all make up one loving community. We need not think alike to love alike. If you're a guest or a visitor or someone who hasn't yet been known to us, I invite you to become a part of this beloved community. We encourage you to either write in the chat if you are a Zoomer, or if you're a roomer, to stand for a brief moment and tell us your name and where you're living. Beth will bring over the microphone for you so that the Zoomers can hear you. Do we have any visitors?
Pretty sure I forgot to pour water. There we go. JP, Huntington Beach.
Welcome, JP. Thank you.
We were keeping track, so good thing you did that.
Okay, do we have anybody on?
We're good.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Welcome, JP.
Oh, we've got Carrie in Tustin.
Oh, Carrie in Tustin. Thank you. Welcome. Welcome. Okay. If you'd like to know more about our church, including programming for our youth and children, please contact us at hello@ocuuc.org, and we will help you get connected. In addition, we invite you to sign up for our weekly email called The Blast at ocuuc.org. We want everyone to feel a part of this beloved community, so please reach out and we'll help you get connected.
So Karen's going to do one final blessing for us in our water bottles. Before we go there, I just want to make some announcements up there. As you can see, all sorts of stuff going on. My understanding is the writing club was actually canceled today. They'll meet next week. We've got, the big thing is we've got our Environmental Film Festival, less than 2 weeks. So exciting, woohoo, yay. We're very excited. And we need some superheroes for that. So what we need people to bake, volunteers to bake cookies, brownies, dessert bars, so that they can sell that to patrons as part of, we have 2 film showings, one in the afternoon, one in the evening, as part of their fundraising efforts for the festival. Peggy, there's Peggy, see Peggy in the courtyard, and sign up for to make some yummy desserts. The other thing is so we've got our flu shot clinic coming up too. That's all free, by the way. Big announcement, I am going to be teaching one of the first classes I've been able to teach in a few years. I'm going to teach a class on the historical Jesus. Ooh, that'll be fun for Unitarian Universalists, huh? So, all right. So if you would like to do that, I've got a sign-up sheet up here. If you would like to be a part of that, it's going to be on Tuesday evenings on Zoom. So that way that everybody can be a part of it. So if you'd like to join me on that, that would be wonderful. So Karen would like to bless us and our water bottles as we go forth this year.
All right, so this is something that we started last year when religious education, the kids, we had to do our own water ceremony in the park because we weren't meeting here on campus. And so we wanted to carry it through to this year. So I see some of you brought your water bottles, yay. Even if you didn't, that's okay. The great thing about having a water bottle that you can use again and again is that it means there's less trash being created, right? And so I know the Aquaman would be very happy to see those water bottles today because we're keeping plastic and stuff like that out of the ocean. So many of us started a new school year recently, perhaps a few weeks ago or even just this week. Many of us are students, and I know many of us are teachers too. Some of us may be learning and teaching in person or on a screen. Some may be learning and teaching at home with their family. And some might be learning and teaching in a combination of ways. So even those of us who are not officially students or officially teachers know that we have lots of opportunities to learn and to teach every day as we go about our daily lives. So though we are learning and teaching in different places and in different ways, one thing we'll probably find ourselves doing sometime during the day is taking a nice, refreshing drink of water. Right? Especially lately with the heat we had the last couple weeks. So the next time you're taking a break to drink some water, we hope that you're going to remember our time together today and think about how all water is connected, just like all of us are connected. And we hope you remember that you're important to us and that we are wishing the best for you, no matter where you are. So if you brought your water bottle with you, you can lift it up in the air to receive our blessing. May you always be safe and your light shine bright. May you learn and grow each day and trust you know what's right. May your heart and mind journey and discover what is true. Most of all, may you know you're not alone and you are loved just for being you.
Amen.
All right, let's sing our goodbye song. Let us go out